Um, you are located in California,
California, Los Angeles. Yes, sir.
and you pronounce your first name Arby. We don't mention last names.
Yes,
Arby, is that what you pronounce it?
that's exactly it. Kind
Well,
of like the
mine's
sandwiches.
okay. Mine's
Art.
Lee, and so okay. So all right. I had a friend who used to say it takes. Um, he was Greek. He used to say it takes a Greek to outfox a Jew and an Armenian to outfox a Greek.
That's really funny.
Well, I'm Scottish, so I think I was outfoxed by the Jews, so I'm way down the
Oh yeah, no, no, no. We're
line.
definitely. I mean, we have the same traits. We're hard working though. We're very hard working though, Lee. We're super hard working.
Well, I know. I've had a couple of good friends who were Greek. This was many years ago. A
Yeah.
Greek and Armenian. Only one I think Armenian that I've known well.
Oh
But
really?
uh, yeah. In any event, you wrote me that a while back that you felt like from the book you had basically won the war against stuttering. Is that still true? Do you still believe that's true?
It's true. When I was a child, Lee, I it was really, really tough. It was I was very scared and current events at school and stuff like that, it was like a no-show. I wouldn't come and I didn't have the support. And I had these speech therapy courses where they kind of pushed me into it. They're like, do speech therapy twice a week at school and, call these people, cold call these people.
Yeah. But
And
you
I
didn't have
tried
any
to,
methods to avoid it, unfortunately.
yeah,
So
they were trying
you
to
were making it
silence.
worse in a lot of cases.
They were making it worse. They would
Yeah.
put me under the pressure and
I don't believe
under
in
the
that.
gun. There were four other students over there in the same room, and it was just dead silent. And they basically made me try all these things, and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So growing up, I was told by my parents that, hey, you know what? Just ignore it, just ignore it, just ignore it. But no, don't ignore it. Face it, fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a habit. And
It is. That's exactly what
you've
it is.
learned it. Now it's time to undo it. So
Exactly.
here we are, and it's been a journey. It's
So
been a
you got
really,
my
really
book. When
tough
did you
journey.
get my book, Arby?
I believe I got it about a year and a half ago or so.
Okay. And so what have you what did the book what did you learn from the book that helped you? How did you use the book?
They're in the notes. I took a lot of notes. It was a long time ago. But primarily the whispering kind of helped me a lot. The whispering and changing the tones, being in the moment. Um, but from what kind of stands out is you gave me the confidence, Lee. You gave me the hope, in a sense where it's like it's okay and you will pass it and you will fix it and you'll help me at the same time. So,
Well, that sounds really good. So let me ask you a few questions. Of
of course,
when did you have? I define a bad incident, a bad speech incident, as one in which if a stranger were standing there, he or she would have said, "This person has a speech problem, a serious speech
speech problem,
problem."
right? Of
That's
course.
what I call anything short of that. If you say I went to work and I was late and I left some things in the car and I had to go back and get them and then I was late, missed the meeting and there's a lot of other situations. This is the way normal people talk. This is not a speech disability. When someone
Everybody,
asks you
some
your
people are
name and you go
so with the
ah,
words.
ah,
We,
That's a
everybody
problem.
feels
Or you go, my name is that's a problem. Or if you
that's
go
extreme, right? That's extreme.
RB, or if you just go that's a, these are the elements that this is what we will not tolerate. We do not have to tolerate it. We don't accept it in any environment. I don't care where it is, if there's a microphone involved and 1,000 people listening, or you're talking to your cat. It doesn't
Sure.
matter. It's the same. And we don't do those things. And that's what we call a bad incident. So I'm asking you, can you remember when you had your last bad incident?
Um, if I could clearly remember off the top of my head when my last incident was, I mean, it typically happens when I'm really upset or I'm very happy or I'm not grounded.
Hmm.
And when I'm not grounded, I let go and I totally forget to, oh my gosh, like remember to do this and remember to do that and be engaged, stay on course.
Right.
Um, it's a good problem that I
Can you
can't
remember
remember.
it when the last
Yeah.
one was?
The last one that I'd say is probably about a couple of months ago when I was getting ready to do my taxes.
Okay.
Corporate
That makes
tax,
me stutter.
corporate taxes, and I was on the phone with the CPA, and I'm like, did you do this and do that? Time is of the essence, and we got to do this. And I couldn't talk, and the words couldn't really come out, and
So what did you
it
do
was
about it?
I stopped,
Good.
I paused, recollected, um, and I think I don't know if I tried whispering a little bit, and then the CPA is like, "What did you say?" And I slowly just basically whispered it out, and then I got back in track. So that's where it
So
kind of
you
came
you stopped,
back.
which was very important. It's
I
like
stopped.
when you have a problem, you do want to stop.
I do
Take
want to
a
stop.
one count, a two count, or even a three count.
Right.
Just say, I lost my train of thought. Let me think for a minute. Take a
Right.
minute and
And
then
it's
start
okay
again. And you
to kind
slowed
of
and you whispered. That's great. You could have slowed and you could have talked. I in crutch 11 says stop talking, and then it says talk less. That is, don't, if someone says, what's your name? You don't say, my name is Arby. You just say Arby or well Arby. You don't say words you don't need to when you're
sure.
feeling a lot of pressure for the moment.
Right.
So you talk, so you stop talking and you talk less. And then it also says talk softly because
Talk softly.
whispering, of course, is soft, but I can talk in this voice here. The minute I talk in a soft voice, you know what? Most stutterers feel like they're on a stage and there's a bright light on them and they got a microphone and there's a sea
Absolutely.
of people and they're all out there waiting as you're about to speak and
Waiting to catch you.
they're all turning their head and they're saying,
Waiting to catch you
they're going to
stutter.
say, "Is Arby going to screw up his speech
Right.
again?" And that's
Right.
that's the way we feel. So when we talk softly, what happens? The light overhead goes off, the mic disappears, the crowd disappears. We move over to the standing in the drapes on the side of the stage, and we're looking out like this talking. And all the pressure goes down. So our blood pressure goes way down. The listener's blood pressure goes down. And now we're talking
I
like this.
agree.
So then what do?
Absolutely.
As we speak in crutch 11, we say, well, we can think about extreme pronunciation and or linking our words and or being passionate even in a soft voice and smiling the entire time is an incredible help. And full
Right.
stops. We're going to stop every 1 to 5 or so words. We're going to have a full stop. There's no such thing as a bad place for a full stop. And every time we stop, all pressure goes off.
Goes off.
And when we finish, we don't sound as if we were talking in a strange way at all. No one
No,
says that. They say, "Oh, Arby was so composed. He has such equanimity all the
of course.
time. He's in complete control. He's not screaming. He's completely logical. There's never a sign of anger because we don't allow it. Period." So that's crutch 11, speaking like a king. It's also when all else fails. We won't step off the cliff. So you didn't do that. So I said to you when you wrote me your very cheerful emails, I'm happy to talk to you. I'm, look, we have three goals. The first goal is we want to stop all stutters. We don't allow any fear driven, appearing disabled stutters. Human mistakes, a little bit of problem here, there. I forgot what I was going to say, and I just can't tell you how excited I am. This is normal speech, and we don't count
Right.
that kind of speech against ourselves because everybody does it. It's okay. So, and no one notices, and nobody cares, and nobody remembers. Period. What we won't do is appear disabled. And that's when we use the crutches. And when someone has been 1 month without appearing disabled, we say to them, you, for your benefit, you need to claim where you are. You need to admit it to yourself first and
Sure.
foremost. So, and secondly, share it with other people. And thirdly, give your coach some credit. In my case, the author of the book who wrote the book that helped you. You know,
Absolutely.
I'm not looking for praise. I'm not looking for money.
You
I'm
deserve it.
I'm
You
looking. I would
deserve
love
it.
it if you'd like if you'd write a book review. I'd love that. But because why? It brings other people to me. My royalties will never pay my cost of my computer tax.
You
That's
deserve each and every bit of everything that comes your way just because you did something, Lee, where you had this problem or you still may have this
no, I
problem
don't.
partially.
I don't
No,
anymore. That's
no,
gone.
no more.
Yeah.
Now, you're not a doctor, you're not a
No.
physician, you're not prescribing pills, you're not
No.
you're not doing all these things.
Mm-mm.
You're just out there to help the people. You're a
That's it.
helper.
That's it.
And and I believe I found you on YouTube about a couple of years ago, 2, 3 years ago or so. And
Yeah.
I was just really upset on that day and I wanted help and I came across your videos and I watched a whole bunch of them. I watched people all over the world, and you've been helping them, and you deserve it. So all the
Well,
praise goes to you, Lee. All the praise goes to
Well,
you.
you're very kind, and I really appreciate that. And it's, I of course I love hearing it. Anyone would love hearing that. And but my goal is to kick stuttering off the planet, and I
Sure,
can't do it by myself.
you can't
But
do it by yourself.
Speech Anxiety Anonymous, which is my name for the Speech Hall of Fame, which is
Right.
where I put my own success story, and everybody that I've helped who will allow me to, I've put a success story for them there. Either I wrote it and they edited it, or they wrote it and I edited it. Some people don't even write in English. 70% of my people don't even speak English as their first language. So sometimes I write them too. And some of them have pictures and some have a different name. We like to have pictures and we like to have a name because it helps other people. I'm out there. Hey, I stuttered up a storm, man. I made scenes you wouldn't believe. I bring tears to your eyes. But the bottom line is that was 40 years ago. And I don't do that anymore. And I've been a very successful speaker, and I've made a decent living, and I don't have to do anything, and I
Right.
haven't done for some years. So this is what I enjoy doing, and I do it 7 days a week, and I'm happy to do it. So the first goal is go a month, which you've done, and do a success story. The second goal is learn to love to speak in all venues, and this means
I
public
love to
speaking.
speak. I really love to speak. My
Perfect, perfect,
wife
perfect.
always tells me, "Stop talking so much.
I
Why do you talk
okay.
so much?"
The third leg of our third goal is adopt mind training. as a daily regimen to improve, to enable you to begin to dictate your thoughts in all aspects of your life.
Right.
Have you done that? Do you do daily mind training? 20
Daily mind
minutes.
training?
Yes.
No, I do
Well,
not.
you need to do that. This is the third leg of our program. And did you read the third edition or the second edition? Do you remember?
I think I read the second edition.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to read the third edition,
Okay.
because it's there's a section in there on self hypnosis, and I want you to read that. And well, look, I would love it if you would join Speech Anxiety Cures. I don't own it, I don't run it, they don't pay me,
I'd
um,
love to, I'd
but
love to
it
join it.
you know
Absolutely.
it's a couple $100 and $10 a month. But I would love it if you
I
would
would love
join,
to. I would love to join it, Lee.
because I mean it would mean this is the group that's going to. I gave them a worldwide license, and I said, look, all I want is a veto power over what you say my methods are. I
Right.
don't want you to misrepresent my methods, and I want to try and I'll coach for you for free. I'll coach anybody, as many as I can for free, and I'll do it. I'll still do whatever comes to me.
Sure.
I'll do that too, and so I gave them a worldwide license, and a bunch of
Beautiful.
people, ex stutterers like you, that I've worked. Most of them I coached, many times, and they and two of my sons formed this company, and they're trying their best. I said, look, you got to do two things: give me a veto power over what you say my methods are, and secondly, you can't charge people. You got to keep it down so low you can just
So that everybody can be able to
so
afford it.
everybody can afford it. Most programs start at $2,000. I said that's way too much money. So they got a
Right.
program for $200. Give me a break. That's
Sure.
1 hour of a
And if
therapist's
you
time.
really want the help, you will pay. You will pay. That's
Exactly.
it.
And they have coaches that I trained, and some of them coach half the time for free, and half the time they get $50 an hour. And
Sure.
that's the deal. But you don't need coaching. But what I would like to do, I would love it if you would join SAC. I would love it if you
Of
would,
course I would.
and I would love it if you would write a book review. I would love that. And
Absolutely.
when you do it,
Anything I can do to help you guys. Anything I
I
can do to
really
help
appreciate
out.
it. I'm telling you,
Of course, Lee.
you're like a Christmas gift late.
Hey, we do what we can to help each other. And I remember when I was in elementary school, I think I was in fourth or fifth grade or so, and I would tell the teachers, I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, how can I get a job? Where am I going to work? And what can I do? I can't speak. Like, how can I talk to people and do all these
Exactly.
things?
Exactly.
So they would tell me, instead of lifting me up and saying, you know what, we're going to fix it, we're going to do what we can to fix it, they would tell me the total opposite by, like, hey, you know what, it's okay. You'll get like a warehousing job somewhere where you're uh, far away from human interaction and things like that. And
Jesus.
I grew up and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So then I got my real estate license, which is a job where you
You
constantly
got to
talk to people,
sell.
hold open houses, and you call and this and that. And I've had my license for about 12 years now, and I'm one of the most successful real estate agents in the city right over
I
here.
love it.
So,
I
I mean,
love
it's a
it.
blessing. Do I still have my moments? Absolutely, of course. But I'm grounded, well grounded. I remember everything you specifically tell me, and we keep going.
And
We
I
won't
would
go
love
back.
it. Listen, and I would love to, Skype with you too, as much as you want to, as much or as little as you want to Skype. You know, I
Sure.
I would like it. I would like to. I would love it if you. Um, I'd love to. Either you write a success story for yourself, or I'll write one based on what you've told me and send it to you, and you rewrite it. But I would
Sure,
love to post a success story on
sure.
SAA, and I would love to. Can I have? You never even filled out a questionnaire, I don't
I think I
think.
did.
Oh, did
Yeah, I
you?
did.
Did you? Good
I
for
think
you.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I filled it out a couple of months ago. I know we were
Okay,
going back and forth right
great.
during the holidays, but I had a couple of family deaths and things like that, so everything kind of got pushed back until today. So that's
You
what
would be a
happened.
guy that would that if you wanted to look. I know you got a life to live. You got children. I see that. I hope you're reading aloud to them on a daily
I
basis
do, absolutely, and
because
I
this is
talk to
great
them,
for you. It's
read
great for
aloud,
them.
absolutely. It helps me too.
Oh, of course it does. And you'll get, I have four sons and four daughters-in-law, 13 grandchildren. My
God
daughters-in-law
bless.
uh, got their kids, reading to their kids before they got to school, and they get to school and like three of them are like Phi Beta Kappa. I mean, you get your kids started, they hit school 2 or 3 grades ahead of the crowd
Wow.
just because you worked with them at home. And
Sure.
gee whiz, you know,
It all helps.
reading is
Absolutely.
a wonderful thing, and it's
Reading is so important. I read so much, all self motivational books, so many things, and it's just, I'm learning every day. Every day we learn something, Lee. Every day.
Well, also, you unfortunately living in California, it's awfully early. Right now, we do a speech club, Speech Anxiety Masters. We call it SAM, Speech Anxiety Masters, SAM, and it meets on Saturdays at 10 a.m. New York time. So it's 7 a.m. your time, which is
7
awfully
a.m. Yeah.
early. But
I'm with
um,
my kids at that time. They're
yeah,
on the
it's
bed and they're
tough
jumping all
tough
over me.
time for you,
Yeah.
but it's a great club because again, SAC is the world's only community of ex stutterers and those becoming ex stutterers. It's the only
Right.
one, only place you can go on this planet, and that's where you find them, people like you. It's your community, and we got them all sizes, ages, and shapes, every language you can conceive of, every religion, every culture. We don't care what it is. It's as you
I
talk
want
about a
to join.
United Nations, we're it. We give them lessons.
Worldwide. Absolutely.
And we
Worldwide.
love to have you. I mean, when you join SAC, that's what you're joining because that's who it is. And they have
Okay.
blogs, they have forums. And someone like you, you could, if you had time, you could someday be a coach if you wanted to be.
Sure.
We have a training program for that, but I mean, it isn't a big deal. But there's some tricks to that too. But I can't tell you the satisfaction I get out of it. This week I've probably coached half a dozen children, 15, 13, 12, 16, 9, with their parents. And I have the best time. I just can't tell you. I have one girl in Qatar, beautiful girl, who
Guitar. Yeah.
just posted her success story without her picture. I couldn't talk her into. She's a beautiful girl. I'm telling you. You look at her and think, wow.
Really?
Um, she's 15, and she
Yeah.
has her sisters 18 and 20 both stutter, and she stuttered
Wow.
pretty badly. Her sister 18 stutters on virtually every word, and the sister 20 stutters on some words. Well, the 15-year-old's the pioneer in the family, and she found me and she beat it. I mean, she workaholic and
Good
she
for
nailed
her.
it, and we're filing her success story. But you know, um, I got her singing because singing is a method that we
Singing
used
also
to.
helps. Absolutely. When we sing, we don't stutter at all,
And
which
I
is
got some
its
people,
strength.
they'll talk to you and they'll have to do a little singing as they talk to you, and they'll get around some of the hard words. I said, we laugh when we do it. And you know what happens? Everybody relaxes. It's much better than listening to somebody really struggle with a word and you're in pain for them.
Right, and they're tense and right, absolutely.
Horrible. So that has really worked great. And after a while, they sing less and less and less. They feel less pressure. as I just Skyped with a guy right before you called from Norway, 21 years old, a physics major, smart as a whip, stuttered all his life, couldn't say anything, couldn't talk to anybody, and he hasn't stuttered in like 2 months, and he sings.
Wow, good for him.
He sings, and he says, when I started singing, and I said, laugh when you sing, laugh at yourself. If when you laugh at yourself, the world laughs with you. When
When
you
you
cry
laugh,
alone.
period. Absolutely.
And he's got his friends laughing, his teachers laughing, and he said, you know what? I suddenly realized I'm never going to get stuck again. And he said, so I
Because I'm
don't
laughing.
even feel the need to sing anymore. And so he's even not needing to sing much. So this is just going great. But you are
That's
such a
awesome.
breath of fresh air, and I want to thank you for
Of
calling,
course, Lee.
contacting me,
Of
man,
course.
because
Thank
you
you very
help
much for
get
everything you
me
do.
make me feel good about what I do.
Absolutely, Lee. Absolutely. Keep it going. Um, and like I said, if I can help with anything, I'm here.
I'm going to send you an
Write me
email,
out, call
and
me,
look,
whatever the case may
do you
be.
want to
So
take a
I'm here
pass?
for you
Do you
guys.
want to have you ever looked at our success stories on Speech Anxiety Anonymous? Did you ever look at them?
No,
Well, gee
no.
whiz, would you? I'll send you a link to it,
Yeah,
and
of course.
look at a
Send it
few.
over.
You can see
Send it
mine
over.
on
I'd love
there. Read the top two or three or whatever. There's like 150 of them on there.
Okay.
Can you
Okay.
imagine that?
That's incredible.
They're
That's still
text
very
and videos of people
right.
like you
Oh, videos
and
too.
me.
Okay.
They're incredible. Incredible. I got like 6 medical doctors.
Good.
I got
Good. I love
PhDs. I
it.
got lawyers. I got bricklayers. I got people who work in breweries. I got
Doesn't matter
everybody.
what you are, this can affect everybody. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're an attorney, you're a janitor, whatever the case may be, this can affect anybody. So
Well,
that's what
listen,
this is.
do you want to take a pass at writing a success story, or do you want me to take a pass and send it to you and you rewrite it?
You can do it
Okay.
and then send it over to me.
Okay.
I'll have a look and then, I'll just go ahead and
Okay.
respond. So absolutely, of
This is
course.
fabulous. This is so great. Again,
Absolutely.
I really hope after you join SAC that when you can, um, you'll chime in with us. I mean,
Uh, of
make a
course. Yeah.
comment on the forum once in a while. Sam is too early for you, but if it ever isn't, we'd love it if you'd come. And of course, you can
Come
always
on by.
watch a
Absolutely.
session.
Absolutely.
I think you'd be impressed because we have people on there. I mean, everybody there used to stutter, and probably 2/3 of them now show no sign of stuttering, and the other third are still working on it. Who come to those meetings, and we have different people every week.
Sure.
But we usually have 20 to 40 people there, and we usually have a speaker, and the speaker is usually somebody like you or me who tells
Hmm.
their speech story for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, and
15
people
minutes. Yeah.
ask
Right.
questions and comments and how did you do this and what do you do now, and all this
I would love
helps too.
to
We'd
help
love
out.
it if I could put you down
I
for
would
like
really love to
April
help
to
out.
give a little talk to our Sam Club, but you'd have to get up at 7 one week.
I'm up at that time. I mean, my kids, uh, they're up
Well, so
bright and early.
you could do a talk. We're booked until like April. I got speakers through March. You know,
Oh, wow.
and
Okay.
I mean, it's wonderful, but I mean, it's a good If you can watch a SAM session, and they're on the SAC website. You can watch one, and it'll give you an
Okay.
idea of how it goes. And sometimes we have a panel of experts, which are all people ex-stutterers, and it's kind of like open season. There's no talk.
Kind of
We
like
do
an open forum. Yeah.
Yeah, we do that once a month, and the other 3 weeks we have a speaker, somebody who's beaten it, and it's terrific. It is so good, and it's the only place that's
In the
promoting
world.
ex stutterers.
The only place in the world with
That's
people who
it.
are currently fighting the condition or that
We
have it, I should
disagree.
say, the habit.
Stuttering is not an incurable disease.
It's a habit.
Period.
Yes.
Well, listen, thank you again for your call
Thank you
today.
very much, Lee.
I'm going to
I
write you
appreciate
right
your
away.
time.
I'm going to hang up
Yes,
and write you right away. You'll get
sounds great.
something from me within several hours.
Perfect.
And
All
listen,
right,
don't be a stranger. And if you
I
want to
won't.
talk about anything,
I will. Absolutely.
if you want to practice a speech you're going to do for Toastmasters or for the real estate convention or something, you practice it on me because
I will.
I've worked with a lot of public speakers, including
I love
politicians.
it. I will.
You know,
I will. I'll take you up on that
well,
offer.
you better. All right,
All
Arby,
right.
thank you again,
Thank you
and
very, very much.
I will
Okay,
be
take
in
care.
touch soon. Let's
Yes,
keep
of course.
going. Anytime you want to talk, you say, "Hey, I'm free. You got any time this afternoon?" That's all you got to do.
Perfect. Sounds great, Lee.
My pleasure, mate.
You
Happy New
take
Year
care of
to
yourself.
you.
All right. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.